Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where I take a look at someone else's mock draft, and I mock it, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Today, we got a good one. We're going to look at our good buddy, Alex from Hail Mary Sports. He put out a 7-round mock draft, and he was so kind to do it by draft class. So we're going to go through that, but what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy, Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. Go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse tomorrow. Walk the mock. Friday night, be there for that. Hopefully, we'll have some stuff on the combine tomorrow morning since we have the tight ends, receivers, and quarterbacks going today. But let's go ahead, get into the nitty-gritty. Let me switch on over. And here we go. Look at Alex looking all nice with his tie and suit, and me with a jersey over a hoodie. But he's got the Steelers. He goes Steelers first. Kenny Pickett. I got my reservations about Kenny Pickett. I don't know. Something tells me he goes in the first round. I wouldn't take him in the first round. Sean Ryan's a nice pickup, though, for the Steelers, whether he ends up playing guard or if he plays tackle. Alex does list him here as a tackle as well. But I love Alex Wright. Big fan of the cat out of UAB. I think that's a good fit for the Steelers. Jalen Naylor. Dude, that's a good speed threat they're getting there in the fourth. Marquand McCall, man. That's a good depth nose tackle there. One you can develop. And I actually don't know much about Dejon Warner. I think this is the corner at Jacksonville State. I was talking to Alex about him a couple of days ago. I haven't watched much of him, but it's a 7th-round pick. Take a shot. So for this, honestly, I know I'm not a big Pickett lover, but, you know, it's the right situation. You add some talent to the offensive line. You add another receiver. You get some good talent on the front end. Maybe they do something at corner in the off season. My dog Gojo, man, he's just out here causing a ruckus, man. But yeah, no, overall, I like this draft. Let's go ahead to the Baltimore Ravens. He goes David Ajabo. Again, he's connecting the dots with the new DC, the former Michigan DC, now defensive coordinator of the Ravens, and then obviously Owe, being the high school teammate of Ajabo. But getting Jordan Davis in the second round is really good. It's a really good pickup. Darion Kennard in the third. I don't like Alex Lindstrom in terms of being a scheme fit. Again, I'm just not a big fan of. I think Lindstrom has to go to an outside zone blocking scheme. Mikael Wright's a good pickup along with Alec Pierce. Goodness gracious. I mean, honestly, then you could probably move on from Hollywood, after that. Cole Strange, I thought was good, though. And then, again, I think actually Cordell Volson is a really good pickup. I think he ends up playing guard, but he's a guy that definitely fits what the Ravens are about stylistically. Cade Otton's a fine run blocker, so he kind of fits the mold there in Baltimore as well. But before we get into the next pick, do you see this dank merch I got on? Yeah, you do. Well, here's a closer look. Are you tired of spending $80 to $100 on your favorite team's jerseys just to watch those players go to greener pastures? Then check out Team Jersey Pros. They do custom-made shirts, jerseys, and hoodies. And with promo code BROSHMO, all caps, you get 10% off that order. You can get some fine drip for only $30 to $60, depending on how you want to customize it. You can go with a football jersey, basketball jersey. I personally went with a baseball jersey. Even got the logo there. It just looks nice. It's one of the best ways to support the channel. Don't forget promo code BROSHMO, all caps, gets you that 10% off. But anyway, back to the video. As I said, hey, get 10% off. Promo code BROSHMO, all caps. But let's go ahead and get into the next pick for the Bengals here. This is their draft class. They go Trevor Penning, Jameer Sawyer. Really addressing the offensive line. Greg Dulcich kind of feels like a Uzomah replacement, doesn't he? That's interesting. Caleb Evans, I feel like there might be better corners there in the fourth. I'm not that high on Evans just because I don't think he'll test out that well, and I kind of think he actually moves to safety in the NFL. But DeMarco Jackson's a really good pickup. Christopher Allen's a guy I really like. I think he's going to go late round just because he ended up missing the season for Alabama, hurt himself in the opener against Miami. I thought he was going to have a breakout season this year. Obviously, it didn't happen because he got hurt, but I think there's a lot of potential there. Sterling Weatherford he's fine. He's kind of this safety transitioning to linebacker. And then Clinton Radakovic, I guess that's North Dakota State's running back. Haven't watched him. Couldn't tell you about it. But overall, this is fine. I like Sawyer there at guard. Pennon, I guess you throw him. You could actually keep him at left tackle because Jonah Williams has that flexibility to play either tackle spot. But I do like addressing the line. This one's okay, honestly. I like what he did with pick 5 and 6, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We got the Cleveland Browns, Treylon Burks. And then Perion Winfrey is nice. I like Darian Beavers. I kind of like his versatility. And wow, oh my gosh, so much defensive talent. Like, I really like Jesse Luketa as a fit for the Browns. Troy Anderson, obviously, this guy's super athletic. I don't know if you could start him right away just because he is very raw as a tackler. But Sam Williams is a nice addition. Like, going defense heavy in the front 7. I like that. I wouldn't mind getting like more meat next to Perion Winfrey. Like, maybe get one of the nose. There's a few good nose tackles here that'll be available on day 3. So maybe going that route. Caleb Elby is a good developmental quarterback. Dare Rosenthal, I really haven't watched him, the Kentucky tackle. Not a fan of Ollie Green, though. He's a Missouri corner who was a transfer from Tulsa, and just he didn't do a whole lot. But again, this is a 7th round pick. You're just kind of throwing stuff at a wall, hoping it sticks. I guess we go into the Chicago Bears, and I really thought this was a good Bears draft. Chris Olave making it a 2nd banger pick. Kobe Bryant there at the end of the 3rd. That's nice. Excuse me, to pair up with Jalen Johnson. I think that's good. That's a good pair to have for Eberflus. I like the addition of Smith and Walker being kind of more of a developmental tackle just because he's got those high-end physical traits. And John Ridgeway, again, I said there's these nose tackles on the interior available day 3, and Ridgeway is one of them. So I actually really like this draft class for the Bears. Going into the Packers, George Karlaftis. I'm telling y'all, man, he's not testing out, I think, this week. But pro day, man, watch how he tests out in the explosion drills. If not, teams are going to look at him like, he's a guy that's probably going to be a good player, but the upside's not like huge like it would be for like a KT or a Jabo, Trayvon Walker, an Aiden Hutchinson, who already like he's really more of this stupid high floor guy, but I really think there's a chance Karlaftis could end up falling outside the top 20. Daniel Falalele, I'm not a huge fan of, but I get it. You don't have to start him right away, preferably. David Bell's a great pickup. I like that a lot. And pairing it up with Bo Melton as a slot, have him battle out with Amari Rodgers, who they drafted last year. I love Melton's just his wingspan and his explosiveness. Peyton Hendershot's a interesting pick in the 4th. I think it's a bit of a reach on a guy that just hasn't performed well the last couple of years. Nefi Sewell, a bit undersized of the linebacker, but he's got a high motor. I really liked the Ioma Ozarike pickup. I think that's really good there at a guy that can play next to Kenny Clark, or you could even have him kick out a bit wider. Then he gets kind of a developmental quarterback, probably a guy that's going to go on the practice squad, the San Jose State quarterback. But this one's you know what? Like, I really think they hit it off with the Purdue guys, but Falalele, entirely in love with. And yeah. Anyway, here's this. Oh, I'm having me some Red Bull. It's keeping me going. Minnesota Vikings. They go Derek Stingley, and then they just pair him up with Jalen Pitre in the slot. That's kind of nuts. Wan'Dale Robinson's a nice pickup. Neil for Farrell is a good pickup there. Oh my gosh, my dog brought in this big stick, and I just heard it scraping against the wall. Golly, I'm gonna have to take that away from him. But Farrell's pretty solid. Like, because I really think Michael Pierce ends up getting cut, so pairing him up with Tomlinson. Tyree Johnson, I love the dude off the edge. The Texas A&M guy. Like, the dude's stupid explosive. Not really undersized. He's probably going to be around the 245 area. Fudakasi is a fine, like, 2-down run stuffer at linebacker. Skylar Thompson feels like he's going to be more of like a gimmick quarterback. And then James Empey, older guy that might be able to stick on the roster, has a good depth piece. I really like I really like these first 6 picks. I really think these first 4 have a chance to end up being like legit starters. I know, well, Stingley, Pitre, obviously. I think Farrell could definitely sneak into that starting lineup, or at least in the rotation immediately. And then we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They go Evan Neal, Kingsley, Nagbari, my boy. Jalen Tolbert, good pickup there. Zachary Carter, Jake Ferguson, who's a fine tight end. Josh Jobe, Joshua Ross. Chris Paul's a good pickup. JT Woods is a good pickup late day too. Velus Jones, Amari Barno, and I'm a sucker for Kennedy Brooks. So this is literally just the Jags taking shots at a lot of talent. So I don't mind it. I think Tolbert and Neal end up being immediate starters. Nagbari probably in the pass rushing rotation there with Smoot and Allen. You could also, Zachary Carter's kind of this guy you could play from tackle to tackle anywhere in between. I think Chris Paul has a good shot at maybe challenge. Well, I don't want to say challenge, but I think he could definitely maybe challenge one of the guard spots. I guess I will say challenge. I think Ben Barch kind of has one of those spots on lock already, but we can see. We can see. I like Chris Paul. And then Woods is just, the rest is just good depth. Jones is a good return man. So again, this is just trying to draft talent. This Colts draft, I actually kind of like these first 4 picks here. I like D'Angelo Malone coming in, being this pass rushing specialist. Max Mitchell, I think, has a shot at being the starting left tackle, in all honesty. You got John Mechie, who's really a nice speed option that they really just don't have on that squad. You could say T.Y., but T.Y.'s up there in years. Trent McDuffie is also a good pickup. Again, this all comes down to who's playing quarterback. That's the big question. You got DJ Matthews. I haven't watched a ton of Indiana, but I do like Trey Turner a lot. Another speed option. Joey Blunt, probably not draftable. I've covered him for the last couple of years out of Virginia. And then another, I've been saying, there's these day 3 nose tackles that are just get good prospects, like Otito Ogbania. I'll get it before the draft. But this is a pretty darn good draft by the Colts. And then we got the Texans. They go Kem Ekwonu, DeMarvin Leal, Marcus Jones. Wow, Lewis Sign making it to the end of the 3rd round's nice. Brian Robinson, Cade Hall. I don't remember where Alex said he was from. I haven't watched the guy at all. Couldn't tell you about him. Danny Gray, Joshua Corbin, I'm actually a big fan of as a late day 3 pick. And then you got Myron Tagovailoa Amosa out of Notre Dame. He lists him as he's not an offensive tackle. He's a defensive lineman. So, but this is really just grabbing talent. Legit, you probably got your starter in the slot in Jones. Leal could probably work outside. Akem's immediate starter. Sign's going to be an immediate starter. Robinson should at least challenge for some starting reps. But yeah, no. Overall, I think this is a good draft for the Texans. Tennessee Titans, they go Brian Asamoah, then Desmond Ridder making it at the end of the third round. Ain't happening. I'm just gonna call it now. Jelani Woods is a good pickup at tight end. Came in with 24 bench press reps at the combine. Stud. Isaiah Thomas, this is nice. He does have that kind of like kick inside ability on third down. Chase Lucas is just a good depth piece, good special teamer. And then Myron Cunningham, a guy that I think probably kicks into the inside out of Arkansas. But if they're able to get Ridder in the end of the third, this is a win. This is take the W in this draft class. That's great value. But with Drummond there coming in, probably playing a slot role, Woods getting some more talent. Like, he's a legit receiving threat at tight end. I like that a lot. I would consider this a win. And Asamoah is obviously a really good pick too. Some of y'all, he's my cup of tea at linebacker. Some of y'all might not like him. And then Drake London going to the Saints. Nicholas Petit-Frere there to be the Terran Armstead replacement. Bailey Zappi, so they get a developmental quarterback, or at least a backup. Khalil Shakir comes in, be the slot option. I like that. Verone McKinley, because I think it's a good chance they lose Marcus Williams, so that's a good pickup. Josh Williams is the Fayetteville State corner. So they get him. He's got good length, and he should test out well this week too. Charlie Collier's kind of like a fine tight end depth. Keontae Ingram, it's an interesting receiving option at running back out of USC. Former Texas Longhorn. But this is a good get. I don't think there's a lot of speed at receiver for... That's not true. They got guys like Traquan Smith and Marquez Callaway, but those guys haven't really shown a bit of consistency. But I do like the Drake London pickup, especially if Michael Thomas. They just restructured. He ain't going nowhere. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Devontae Wyatt ends up being this, and I think he did this draft, by the way, before Ali Marpet retired. But Devontae Wyatt comes in, bam, Sue replacement. Sky Moore is a guy that gets good separation, and he's going to be good after the catch. So I think that's a good get for them. Isaiah Spiller, so okay, they have quite a few running backs as free agents. Alontae Taylor, I kind of like that, getting some depth at corner. Merlin Robertson, Tyler Vrabel, they're kind of like they're good additions later on, but it's really more about getting like guys like Sky Moore, Spiller, Taylor, Wyatt. It's an all right draft. Atlanta Falcons, you birds got me all mixed up. Goes Sauce Gardner, George Pickens, already a banger draft class. Carson Strong, I don't know. I think if you're the Falcons, just don't go in on quarterback this year. I don't think you really have to. But Strong's pretty good. That's about his area. Well, at least on my big board. Cameron Thomas, good pickup. They need pass rush help. Damian Pierce, bam. Dude, yeah, I think they're going to cut Mike Davis. So bring back Cordell Patterson. Pairing him up with Damian Pierce is nice. Kellen Dyche is in the fifth round. It's kind of nice. I think there's a chance he challenges Caleb McGarry. Mathis is fine. Moving to safety, definitely see it. The Pittsburgh corner. And then Thomas Booker, I think, is a good get. Like, he was a guy that was often he's more of this penetrator. I think he has good get off. I think his physical ability wasn't really showcased well there at Stanford, where they kind of asked him to be more of this gap controller. I think he's a better penetrator. But I think, honestly, I would say Thomas Booker's a guy to watch out for. He's one of my favorite day 3 options. But Yeah, no, this is a big W for the Falcons. All right, we got the Carolina Panthers, and honestly, I was telling Alex this before because I looked at it with him because I had questions about guys, but I thought this was honestly as good as it can get if you're the Carolina Panthers. Kyle Hamilton, that's great. You know he's going to be a good player, very versatile, very similar to Jeremy Chin. Well, I would say Jeremy Chin's very similar to Kyle Hamilton because Hamilton I think was the better prospect. Dylan Parham I think immediately could come into play center. Brock Purdy, I wasn't wild about that pick. I think his ceiling in the NFL is a backup, but I like Tyreek Smith. I do think they bring Reddick back, but if they can't, Smith's a good option, just a good guy to have in the rotation. Luke Godek, I think he could surprise a lot of people. Could end up being a starter. Like no lie. Ellis Brooks, solid linebacker there at Penn State. So, with the picks that you had, I thought this is as good as you can get. I think you potentially have 2 starters because, to be fair, with the talent they have currently on offensive line, I'd expect Luke Godek to challenge. Not going to lie. All right. New England Patriots. Devin Lloyd, Tariq Woolen, Nick Cross, Kyle Phillips, Luke Fortner. I think Luke Fortner might go higher than that. But this just feels like a Patriots draft. You got the Dante Hightower replacement in Devin Lloyd. Tariq Woolen be that JC replacement. You got Nick Cross, who honestly kind of feels similar to Kyle Duggar. But you know how much they used Adrian Phillips as well. So maybe this would be like the Adrian Phillips replacement, though. I think they just extended him. Kyle Phillips is a good slot guy to have that offers return ability. And then Luke Fortner is just depth there on the interior there at center, especially with Ted Karras probably leaving. And you know how valuable Ted Karras was to that squad. Just his ability to play both guard and center. New York Jets, KT, Garrett Wilson. Then he goes Kyler Gordon, Bernard Ryman. Wow, that's a good pickup. Damon Clark's a good addition to the linebackers there because their linebacker crew is not great. And it's also inexperienced, but having a sure tackler like Clark is good. Ed Ingram be a good addition to the interior there. Leo O'Neal Jr. or Leon O'Neal Jr. I like him. He's one of my favorite box safety options in this class. James Mitchell. Also, everyone forgets about James Mitchell, man. This cat can play, man. He got hurt early on there at Virginia this year for Virginia Tech, but this guy is an incredible tight end. Abraham Smith, solid running back there to pair up with oh my gosh, Michael Carter. But also you could kind of treat him like a Kyle Juszczyk. So there's that to be made. I like this draft. I like this draft for the Jets. I think you got a lot of high upside guys with like Ryman, Gordon, Thibodeau. You can even say Wilson. All right. Miami Dolphins. I didn't like this draft. I just didn't like it for the Dolphins. Trey McBride the first. That's basically, I think you're just taking positional value. You're dropping it on the ground, and then you're stomping it out. That's how I feel about that. Christian Harris is a fine pickup, I think, to pair up with Jerome Baker. Justin Ross, he just feels like more Devontae Parker. Zamir White, I'm not a big fan of Zamir White just because there's just nothing dynamic about this cat's game. There's just not. He's going to come in, be a good, like he's going to be a solid running back in some committee. Like, that's it. Like, he doesn't offer much as a receiver. He doesn't do a lot after contact. Like, he's just fine. Like, that's why I'm probably not that high on him. Not to say he's not a bad player. I think he's going to translate well. He's going to be in the NFL for a long time. He's going to be a good part of a committee somewhere. It's just I'm not that wild about him. Spencer Burford. he's fine. He could play either guard or tackle. He's got good movement skills for Mike McDaniel's scheme. You got Rashad White, who actually I think I would take ahead of Zamir White. So I like that. Not a big fan of Nick Ford there at Utah. I do like Ali Fayyad out of Western Michigan. I think he's kind of like the Quincy Roche of this class. This guy just flies off the edge, and he has a whole lot of different pass rushing moves. But you're gonna kind of question what can he do as a what can he do as in the run game, and I don't think it's much. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about this class in general for the Dolphins. And then Buffalo Bills, Jahan Dotson, so they get their new essentially I get a guy that can play outside or play in the slot there to pair with Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs. You got Federi Mathis. He's a solid player. I mean, the upside's not huge with him, but he's got a long frame. He's very technically sound. He's going to be a good player. There are a couple of guys in this draft that actually returned, like Pritchett, the Auburn corner, he returned, so Mulligan. Jatir Carter, though, he's a nice developmental piece on the at tackle or on the interior. He's got the versatility to actually play wherever on the line. Brenton Brown's just kind of a power back option. Grant Calais-Catera, I'm assuming he doesn't get drafted because of the concussion worries with him, but he's got good receiving upside. Damarian Williams is more of a slot option at his size. Adam Anderson, take a shot. 7th round, why not? If the allegations end up coming out to be true, you cut him. That's it. It's simple as that. Like, this was a guy we were talking about in the first round. You get him here in the 7th, roll the dice. If he ends up being like getting worse, then just cut ties, man. Akil Glass, though, I like Akil Glass as you could develop that guy into a solid backup quarterback in this class. I like that. Washington Commandos. They go Matt Corral, Leo Chenal, so they get that for sure guy like in the middle there where Jamin Davis kind of struggled. Maybe it's better not having him play weak. Kirby Josephs, that I like him as they're kind of like they're free. Jeremy Ruckert, he's just going to be a solid tight end to have. Monteric Brown, haven't checked him out. Cornerback out of Arkansas, I believe. But we'll see him at the Combine this week. And Emeka Emezi, I like this dude a lot as a physical, big body threat. Like, kind of had a breakout year this year. Kind of changed his build a little bit. I'm curious how he tests out this week, but I think he'd be a good late round option. So overall, this is a good class, especially Matt Corral. Like, honestly, Matt Corral came in like 6'2", 212 here at the Combine. So, like, I don't know. I don't think he's like starting out, but there are some traits there with Matt Corral. I may not be wild about Matt Corral personally, but dude's quarterback 4 for me. Then we got Tyler Smith going to the Cowboys in the first. Calvin Austin, Jalen Wademeyer, Jermaine Waller, Dominique Robinson, Tariq Carpenter, which I think he's probably a linebacker in the NFL. And then Zacoby McClain, which I don't like McClain. He's undersized and isn't really plus at anything. This class is kind of woof to me. Like, Tyler Smith's a good pickup. First round, it feels like a bit much. I don't think he's going to go in the first. I think he would have had a chance if he had a proper offseason process because he wasn't eligible for the Senior Bowl. I think that really hurt him because I think the guy has the upside to go in the first. Calvin Austin, for a team that's right now probably going to try to trade Amari Cooper, it's just not the type of receiver I'm looking for. Jalen Wademeyer is fine. Jermaine Waller is actually a good pickup. I do like Robinson. Probably I like Robinson more late day 3, but it is what it is. And then Carpenter's a fine pickup at tight end, like very similar to what they did with Keanu Neal. But overall, this class is kind of like meh to me. The Philadelphia Eagles, they got Jermaine Johnson, Tyler Linderbaum, Andrew Booth, kind of a banger first round. Then they got Chad Muma, Kenneth Walker. I mean, the injuries they had last year with Miles Sanders. Like, dude, getting Kenneth Walker, because I know that they have not Jared Patterson. Who was who did they get? Who? I can't remember. It's slipping my mind. Eagles running back. Kenneth Gainwell, Memphis. I always get Memphis and Buffalo confused. I was like, Jared Patterson was the first guy I went to, like, came to my mind, but I knew he was at Washington. And I couldn't think. But Kenneth Walker is a banger pick there. I don't think he lasts that long. Chan Tyndall's a good pickup too. So that's like, honestly, that linebacker room's looking kind of good. Smoke Monday is a good pickup. Matt Waltzko, the North Dakota offensive tackle. He's a good developmental piece. Tyrese Robinson, I actually kind of liked him at the Shrine Bowl. Christopher Hinton is another developmental piece. He kind of declared a little bit prematurely to me. And Taquan Thornton, I haven't really watched a ton of him. He's the Baylor wide receiver, but 6th round pick. You're just kind of like taking some swings. Like legitimately, like all these picks were like, it's a good draft class. It's a good draft class in general. I like this draft class for the Eagles. New York Giants, they go Charles Cross, then Nakobe Dean, and then they got Zion Johnson at the back of the second. That's actually a big dub. Drake Jackson, who's up to 270 now. Woof. Isaiah Likely, so they get a receiving option there at tight end. Kyron Williams to kind of be that receiving back with Saquon. Tyreek Castro Fields, who was kind of a big riser at the Senior Bowl. A lot of NFL teams were talking about how much they liked him. Jack Cohn, developmental, or not even developmental, he's a backup quarterback. And then DeAndre Square actually returned to Kentucky. I actually like this class, how it fell. Like, it just, Zion Johnson in the second, that's a big W. And you're able to get away with probably taking Nakobe Dean, where I think he probably isn't a top 10 guy, though I do like Dean. On to the 49ers. They go Martin Emerson. That's a pretty good pickup. And then they just continue to infuse talent on the line. And Josh Pascal. You got Eric Zukanma at a Texas Tech. He kind of feels like, honestly, it feels like a 49er type of receiver. Jerome Ford's kind of a huge pickup. Like, that's good value. And I mean, I guess you could, if you're the Niners, you could never have too much running back depth, considering how often injury comes into play. Quinterio Cole is, I think, a pretty good option there at safety in the 5th. Former Alcorn State safety, ended up transferring to Louisville, had a pretty good year. Cam Jurgens, I think, is a good pickup, good fit for the scheme too. Out of Nebraska, I think I got a midday 3 grade on him. Then Brad Hawkins is actually a pretty nice box safety with I think you could bring him in as like kind of a dime linebacker on sub packages. Like, I like Hawkins. So this is honestly, without having a 1st round pick, this is a pretty solid class. Speaking of not having a 1st round pick, the Seattle Seahawks, they go Boyo Mafe, Logan Hall, Cam Taylor Britt. You got Donovan West, Obina Eze, and then PJ Mustapher is actually, he returned to Penn State. So Easy is a good developmental tackle. Donovan West, like, they keep swinging. You just got to keep swinging at center, I guess, if you're the Seahawks. But Mafe is good upside there at edge. They need something at edge. Carlos Dunlap's kind of been their guy. And then you got Logan Hall's kind of a tweener. But Cam Taylor Britt's pretty nice pickup. He offers size at corner where they kind of lacked it last year. All right, on to the Rams. Still No first round picks to speak of these last few picks. All right. Abraham Lucas is a huge pickup. I think that's a dub right from the get-go. Micah McFadden's one of the better blitzing linebackers in this class. Zach Van Valkenburg, not a lot of upside with him. I'm still like I don't technically have him ranked yet. I just don't know how I feel about him. Chris Owens, I'm not in love with that. I don't think Chris Owens gets drafted. He was pretty not good at Alabama. Jack Jones, another guy who's an older prospect. Probably he has size to play in the slot, but he's going to end up being a special teamer, really. Tyler Chandler's kind of they already got a lot of running backs on the roster. I can't see him making it, but Brian Cook, that's a banger safety pick there in the 7th round. I'm a bit higher on him than that. Matt Henningsen, he's sub 300 interior player from Nebraska? No, Wisconsin. There we go. He's all right, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this class is okay. Like, legitimately, I don't see any upside here. Like, and that's kind of what happens when you have like no pick until 103. Like Abraham Lucas, he's gonna be a starter. Micah McFadden can maybe sneak into the starter rotation, or at least come in on like third downs and be a very good blitzer. But outside of that, I mean, Cook, I think, honestly, he could make a difference. Like, he could come in and, like, challenge Taylor Rapp. I'm not even joking. But there we go. Arizona Cardinals, Trevon Walker, then Breece Hall. They got Darion Kendrick, Cade Mays, Charleston Rambo, Devin Ania? I don't know. Apparently he's a linebacker from Houston. Haven't watched him. George Moore, he's a tackle out of Oregon. Didn't play a ton for Oregon, but it's not that great. He didn't really impress me at the Shrine Bowl. Breece Hall, that's a nice pickup considering the only running back they're bringing back next year is what? Eno Benjamin. Trevon Walker, that could end up working out in the future. Like, again, a lot the physical traits are there for him. Darion Kendrick, I think it's good to bring in cornerback talent there, like to just bring in competition. Like, you don't like, I don't think you want necessarily Marco Wilson to kind of like, yeah, Marco Wilson's like our cornerback too. It's like, let's see if we could challenge that, you know. Charleston Rambo's an interesting deep threat. And then Cade Mays is a guy that you hope maybe ascends to one of the guard spots, at least be a good depth. Like, the guy's got a good build for guard. All right, we got Kansas City Chiefs. No, we don't. Now we do. Daxton Hill, Myjah Sanders. James Cook's an interesting pickup at running back here. Though, you know, you're only really getting a receiving back, I guess. Romeo Dubs, that's fine. Jake Sanborn's a good addition. Matt Hankins, I think, is undraftable. Ben Brown's good depth. Again, these are like 7th rounders. Wow, Tyler Algier, I think that guy's going a lot higher. Wow, 7th round. That's kind of a ooh. Jalen Watson, he's another guy that's kind of like, is what it is. Didn't really like show out, I think, at the Senior Bowl. But I don't know. This is kind of weird. This is a weird class. Like, I like Sanders. I like Hill. Dubs is, I feel like, more the same of what they have at receiver. It's like, well, he's 6 foot. He brings in a little bit of size, but he plays like a 5'8" receiver. It's a problem. All right, and then we got now the Chargers. Kenyon Green, Roger McCreary, already banger picks. Nick Benito, Michael Clemens is pretty nice. Mike Rose, Matthew Butler, I think is a huge get. Reggie Robertson, I think is a great get. Cole Turner, they're at tight end, so they get kind of a receiving option there. Pierre Strong, yes, they need someone behind Austin Eckler, or at least that can relieve Austin Eckler. I really didn't like how guys like Larry Roundtree and I I forgot the other guy that they got there. John Kelly, I think, something like that. I'm not big fans of those guys. Bubba Bolden, that's a good roll of the dice there. In the 7th round, Luke Tenuta. Oh my gosh, why do I suck at these names? Virginia Tech tackle. I think he's got a bit of a guard versatility too to him, but he'd be a good addition. Good depth piece. But sorry, I was looking at some news. I'm currently watching the combine, by the way. The drills don't start for another, I think, 30 minutes. So, but no, this is actually kind of a banger class for the Chargers. And then we have the Raiders, Jameson Williams, Travis Jones. I think those are good gets. Mario Goodrich. I think that's a bit premature, but I get it. Getting more cornerback help. I think that depth's a thing. Darren Mumford. Honestly, he may not be a high upside guy, but I think he could be a quality starter in the NFL. Tyler Batty, get that scat back, and then don't bring back Kenyon Drake. Gosh, I can't believe they spent so much money on a backup running back. Andrew Stubner, I'm not a big fan of. Jeffrey Gutner, though, that guy's got physical and athletic traits. He's super raw, but if you come bring him in as a kind of a developmental option, could pay dividends. This is kind of like a whatever class. I don't mind it. Like Travis Jones is a good pickup. Williams is obviously a good pickup. But outside of that, like I'm not too like ooh, like Gunter or Gunter. I think I like that one. Gunter. Regardless, I like that pick, kind of like being a developmental option. And then finally, we got the Denver Broncos. We got Malik Willis. Oh, yeah, we haven't said that name yet, huh? Kyer Elam's a good pickup. Arnold Ebiketti's great value. Quay Walker's good. Wanye Thomas, I think that's a bit early for a box guy. Jojo Doman, he's kind of a sub-package linebacker. Braxton Jones is a good developmental prospect to tackle. Haskell Garrett, I think, will be a good rotation piece. Hassan Haskins, it's, I guess, running back depth. But this is a good class for the Broncos, I think. Thought they did a good job. Hey, you just missed the Chiefs, Gojo. You want to come see how Denver drafted? Come on. Go see how your division rivals drafted. Look at that. All right, Gojo, you have said enough, my friend. Oh. But that's it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.